Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Dublin. I'm back for another Eurovision analysis video. Today I'm going to try and predict the running order for semi-final number 1 of Eurovision 2023. So let's kiki. Timestamps are in the progress bar. I haven't planned this video. I'm just going to film it all and then I'm just going to edit the crap out of it. I'm going to use my trusty whiteboard. Unfortunately, I still haven't found anything high enough to prop it up on, so I'm just going to hold it up. Hopefully my arm isn't going to cramp. And of course I've got my trusty fridge magnets. Delicious magnets, so delicious. I love them. Before I get into that, quick introduction. In case you don't know about the running order, it is decided by producers. Some people don't like that. They think it should be random draw. I totally support the producers. At the end of the day, Eurovision is a TV show. It needs to be appealing and entertaining. And the best way to do that is to organize the songs so that you don't have too many similar songs together or songs that look the same with like similar color palettes and staging ideas. So they want to separate that. They want to separate the bands. They want to separate the solo females, the ballads, etc. They also need to factor in staging which is more difficult to set up. For example, the UK last year required them to go to the green room for 5 minutes while they set up the rocket. I'm guessing in this semi-final where there's 15 countries that there will be a break after the 5th and 10th song. There might just be one break after 8 songs. I don't know yet. I'm just guessing that there's going to be 2 breaks because more ads equals more money. So yeah, anyone with complicated staging will need to be before, after the ad break, because then you can use the ad break to take down their staging. Okay, so so here are the 15 countries. First of all, let's try and guess who's going to open the show. So I think the potential ones that people are talking about opening are Ireland, Malta, and Norway. I see Norway a lot. If you look historically at who opens the show, you're not wearing a thing. I'm not refilming all that. So if we look historically at who tends to open the show, it actually is usually a pretty good song. It's never the favorite, but it's one of the songs that you kind of expect to qualify. They want to start off with something very entertaining, very fun, something very interesting that gets people's interest. I think Ireland is too weak to open. This is currently 15th in the odds to qualify. It's one of the least popular songs this year. It does have that like positivity, we are together message, which I think would be okay to close, but I just think opening they want something stronger, so I don't think Ireland's going to open. Norway I think is actually a bit too strong. I think it's one of their best songs in the semi-final. They'll probably want to save it for a little bit later on because it's going to be like quite a people draw. I could see potentially opening. We did see Alexander Rybak open in 2018 in that semi-final where more songs won in the first half than the second half. That's the only time that's happened, is 2018. For me personally, I think Portugal would be a good opener. It's very fun, it's very ethnic, it's entertaining, it's like a show song. What better way to open a show than with a show song? Yeah, there's just lots of things about this that are just really fun and charming, and I think it's just very energetic. If she has any big props, it's good to have her first to them because they only need to worry about taking the props off. They don't need to worry about the time putting them on. So yeah, this could really make sense. And I just want to be a little bit different, so I'm going to put this in as my potential opener for the show. Now, the second slot is the death slot. The qualification record here is usually very weak. I think they're very conscious of that, and they tend to put songs that they don't think have much of a shot in the first place there to die. They also try to mix up a little bit, so this is very fun and boppy. They try and put something a little bit more serious. Not always the case. I remember Romania was the number 2 slot last year, and that was quite upbeat. So who are potential people for this one? Let's put into the first half. Who are the first halfers? Firsty. Sorry, I've just split them up. These are the remaining first half and these are the second half. So let's go through and see now. Let's do number 5 next. Is there anyone who might have like really complex staging that might take a while to set up? Think if anyone, it might be Croatia or Serbia. It might bring a tank onto the stage, or not a tank, it might bring a tractor onto the stage, like maybe a small one. I've also heard that they're going to bring rockets on and whatnot, and maybe they'll make it a little bit of a mess. So that might make sense to put them before the ad break. Also, you don't want to put something boring before the ad break because then people are watching something boring and then they're going into an ad and then they're like, oh God, I'm just giving up on this. So you want to put something exciting before the ad break so that people come back. So I think I'm going to put Croatia there, but definitely Serbia also might have some complex staging as well, with where he's pulling out the pipes. But yeah, I think it's more likely that'll be Croatia. Okay, Serbia last year were 3rd in the running order. I think it'd be pretty harsh if they were put 2nd or 3rd again 2 years in a row. Latvia in a similar spot. They also were 2nd last year. So I think they also, I don't know if the EBU cares enough. I know you'd think like in terms of fairness, well, they shouldn't get that again. I don't know if the EBU are thinking that kind of way, or is that just like very naive thinking on my part. For the sake of it, let's put them separate. Let's say that Serbia goes 7th to give them a better draw this year after last year. This is also wishful thinking because I wanted to have a good draw. I don't know. I think Latvia coming 2nd again is really, really unfair. Maybe, I think Latvia being beside Croatia makes sense because they are very, very different moods. Where would Norway go? I think Norway they're going to want to have like relatively late because it's going to be a good people draw. So let's put Norway there. Malta, starting a party. Do you know what? There's actually a lot more kind of upbeaty stuff. This is upbeat. This is kind of upbeat. We've actually got more upbeat than low beat songs. So the low beat songs are actually going to be like a valuable commodity for breaking up the more upbeat ones. Let's put Malta here. I think if Malta going 2nd, it really like keeps up the party. You've got this like really fun, ethnic, upbeat pop, and then you're going straight into like let's dance and start the party. Malta would probably be my 2nd choice as an opener. And then Ireland is 3rd. I always wonder, is that too much happiness at the start? It's very feel good. People might think that they're in some sort of like a cult or something. Honestly, this is like impossible to predict because also we don't know what their staging concepts are, and that's the main decision thing. They'll look at like if their staging is completely gold and their staging is completely gold, they're not going to put them back to back. They're going to separate them, but we don't have that information right now. Honestly, it would make more sense to do this. Put Latvia 3 and then Ireland 4. Tiny bit better than 2nd last year, but yeah, you've got some kind of fun and upbeat, and then into something a little bit more indie. Then you've got this like very poppy nonsense, and then you've got this. Okay, I think that adds in a lot of variety. They're starting off strong, but they're keeping some of their like bigger guns for later in the show. They want to save that. I might swap these two actually as well, because if he does have some big staging, it would be good to put him on after the break. I think these two back to back though is maybe a little bit too intense. I think after the intensity of this, you need something a little bit more standard and safer. So let's stick with that. Let's go to the second half. So these are our 8 second half songs. Maybe we'll think about who's going to close. So anyone closing, you probably want to have the complex staging. So I think Sweden makes the most sense for this one. Sweden make the most sense either here in 10th or in 15th, because they're going to have some large prop. We know that they can have the prop from Melodifestivalen. Presumably they're still going to have something pretty big and elaborate. Sweden pretty much always do. So it makes sense that they're either last, right before the break, or right after the break. Again, I'm just guessing where these breaks are. I think 10th might be a little bit early. I wonder would they want to save it for last, or would they want to have our mid-show? Let's put our mid-show for now. Is there any other potential big ones? I think Israel's probably going to be like a really show-stopping one to end the show with a little bit of surprise. I think they're planning something big. So let's put Israel in as the closer, and then let's put Lorraine in before the break so that they've got lots of time to deconstruct her staging. So Switzerland and Netherlands are definitely going to have to be separated because they are quite similar. Moldova is going to be very useful for the producers because it's so different from everyone that if there is too much of the same genre, they can put Moldova in the middle and it's going to break it up. So this is definitely going to be in the middle of something to break things up. Let's approximately put it here for now, but I might change it. Azerbaijan, they're going to want to put that between something upbeat. I think they'll want to put it, maybe that would be, I don't know if they'll want to come back from a break into Azerbaijan. I think that might be a little bit too, maybe they'll put it here instead. Oh, it's getting harder to hold up next. The magnets are at the top. Okay, so Switzerland, Finland coming back after the break. There's actually quite a lot of upbeat stuff in this altogether. Who would you want in 8th and 9th? I think by the time you've gotten to song number 8, we haven't had a ballad in quite a while, or a slower song. So it would make sense to have one of these. Maybe Netherlands is a little bit more of a pick-me-up. Czechia with a kind of more kind of ethnic feeling, thoughtful moment, but more upbeat, I suppose. And then going into Sweden, does that work? I don't know. It's really hard to guess. Like, in fairness, if you can guess the exact running order, I think you deserve some sort of medal. I wonder, Switzerland that late, does that make sense? I don't think that's a good thing to have Azerbaijan and Switzerland together. I'm gonna have to separate them. And this doesn't make sense either. What if I went like that, and then I'm going like super upbeat, fun, something more serious, up again, more upbeat, and then into something more serious again, and then into a show stopping, which I think will have lots of props in it. And I think he's going to have some props as well. I think he says he wants to have his crates on the stage, which is like a Finnish pun. The word for crates sounds like Eurovision's Europe stage or something. The Finnish people explained it to me in that Finnish video, so that would make sense. I wonder what they put the two big favorites back to back though for the semi-final. Would that be outrageous, or would they just not care? I suppose this is like the peak part of the show, so yeah. Let me just check that there's not too many of the same genre beside each other. So solo female, male group, but they're kind of different vibes. That's 3 male groups in a row. Actually, those 2 bands being together doesn't really work, does it? How do I separate them though? Do you know what would make more sense this would make more sense, breaking these 2 bands up. I just don't know. Are they going to put Latvia second twice in a row? I think that would be so cruel. With their 5 non-qualification streak, they do, and another first half draw in another difficult semi-final, same as last year. I think that'd be really, really harsh. I just don't think the producers really think like that though. I think they just they're like, look, we just need the best show logistically. I think it's a little bit cutthroat. And in fairness, usually the songs that are in 2 or 3 are the ones that are generally already set to non-qualify, to are currently in the non-qualification area right now. So yeah, unfortunately, I think that makes a little bit more sense. These 2 beside each other, I think this is a little bit more goofy, differentiated from this, which is a bit more like serious. Yeah, it's way harder than I thought it is. Like, come on. There's so much information I don't have as well. So like, yeah, whatever. It's just a little bit of fun. Let me know what you think. This is what I'm definitely not betting my house, or I wouldn't even bet €10 on. The chances of getting it right are so difficult, but I think it's kind of like a fun thing to go through. Let me just have like one look at it properly. I feel pretty confident about the second half. The first half, bloody hell. The only thing about the second half I'm not sure about is, are they going to put the 2 favorites back to back, or they want to separate them? I'm pretty sure Israel's going to end because I think they've got a big show planned. Like Lorraine might end as well. I think it'll be between these 2. I suppose Finland could finish as well. They're going to want to finish with a bang, and there's so many bang songs to choose from. I think it'll be one of those 3. But again, so much information we don't have. Anyway, let me know what your running order was. What were the ones that you would change? I'll do the same for semi-final number 2 as well. It's actually kind of fun to do, but yeah, like you feel kind of powerless doing it. Like, wow, this is so wrong. and I'm putting this on camera for my wrong prediction to be saved for eternity. So that's a little bit daunting. That was my attempt at predicting semi-final 1 running order. I'm gonna get it so wrong. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know what you think and what you would change. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks so much for watching. See you in another Eurovision analysis very soon. Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah. Firsty.